changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. I love to let people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We got to keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody got to put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion, not place your calling. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play a role, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time? Calling is a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We got to keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody got to put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion, not place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show of people. Belize our hope, so to need less reason. Nobody feel left out. This the vibe we're dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that must happen under God blue skies. I love to let people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We got to keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody got to put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion, not place your calling. WB.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, live on Creme Radio and on XTV for today, Tuesday, the 18th of August, 2026. We always trust and hope that all is great with you. First of all, your health, yes, your energy. Always want your vibrations to be positive, and of course we are selfishly interested in your morning being spacious, flexible, because we don't only want you here, we want you calling in. This is a conversation that we have here. I'm Mose, I'm on duty today, hosting Belize's premier morning conversation live in Creme Radio, live on XTV. We want to welcome all who are listening, watching, those getting us via apps or social media streams, and of course simulcast coverage. We start off, as you should know if you're familiar with us, with a bit of preliminary action. We've got a bit of morning news for you. Before we do that, we've got your weather forecast, so you know what you can expect for today, Tuesday, straight out of the experts' mouths. From the National Meteorological Service, we've got forecaster Derek Woodon to line us up.
In Belize, a tropical wave approaching the country will support an increase in moisture and instability. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for mostly cloudy skies tonight and tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms will be generally isolated at first, then expect some outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms to develop over southern districts and along coastal areas, then gradually spread into most areas. Low temperatures tonight will be 77 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, to 72 inland, and 67 in the higher elevations. High temperatures for tomorrow will be 88 along the coast, to 93 inland, and 81 over the mountains. The wind will blow from the east at 10 to 20 knots, and the sea state will be moderate to rough. A small craft caution remains in effect for gusty winds and locally rough seas near heavy showers and thunderstorms. Operators of small craft should exercise caution. A low tide will occur at 7:16 tonight, a high at 1:12 a.m., a low at 8:30 a.m., and a high at 10 minutes past 2 in the afternoon. The sun will set today at 6:17 and rise at 5:36. The moon set at 9:40 tonight and comes up at 10:54 tomorrow morning. The outlook for Tuesday night through to Wednesday is for partly cloudy skies with isolated showers and isolated thunderstorms. In the tropical weather outlook, no tropical cyclone formation is expected near or over Belize and her coastal waters during the next 48 hours. And that's your evening forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
And now the morning news. CEO in the Ministry of National Defense, Francis Usher, has dispelled claims that the ministry is denying the rollout of promised per diem for members of the Belize Coast Guard in comparison with the Belize Defense Force set to begin receiving per diem payments in the coming weeks. Usher explained that the Coast Guard's delay is simply due to budgeting, as the funds have not yet been allocated, so per diem will only take effect at the start of the new fiscal year in April 2027. He stressed that this timeline was always part of the plan. Usher told Creme News XTV that the decision was communicated to the leadership of the BDF and Coast Guard yesterday, and he assured that there was consultation.
We have long spoken about how we can better serve the soldiers, how we can better serve the sailors, how we can improve upon our system of providing meals for them. A concept that has long been floated has been the concept of a per diem versus actually feeding them. Now, the per diem is a lot more straightforward. It's a lot easier, if you ask me, and I had proposed it. I brought in both the commander of the BDF and the commandant of the Coast Guard. Now, they explained the differences, which I was aware of, but it was good to hear it firsthand from them, the differences in how they operate. For example, in the BDF, you have to walk sometimes for days to get to the operating post or the conservation post where you are posted in the jungle. In the case of the Coast Guard, they go via boat direct to their forward operating base, and then they patrol on boat from there. So it's a lot more easy, or it's a lot easier for the Coast Guard to have fresh rations and you know, I would say better, more fresh rations to take direct to the FOB where they have kitchens. In the case of the BDF, you're in the middle of the jungle. So the MRE option would not work or is not as suitable for the Coast Guard. So what we proposed was a phased rollout where we take what is already approved in the recurrent budget for food and beverage for the BDF, and we buy MREs, and then we take the per diem. Now we went through a lot of numbers on what we're capable of giving the soldiers, and the number we landed on, which I'm going through and briefing all the soldiers in person. I went to all of them before, and now I'm going to them again to notify them what cabinet has approved, which is that each member of the BDF will receive $17 per day, and those that are operationally deployed, whether it be in the jungle or confined to a camp, any of the various camps working confined duties, meals would be provided for them by way of either MRE or, in some instances, a fresh meal in the case of the echelon and other deployments. Now, we used funds that were already approved. In the case of the Coast Guard, because of the manner in which they operate, where they're able to still take fresh rations direct to their forward operating base via boat, they said through the commandant that they prefer to keep that system of fresh rations. So the reason why the per diem will still be rolled out in the Coast Guard, but it will be rolled out in the new financial year where we have budgeted for it properly. The reason it can be rolled out in the BDF now, this financial year, is because the funds already exist, because we are no longer buying the amount of fresh rations.
So where is the misconception or this seemingly backlash coming from, if it is that you all have discussed it with them?
Mischief.
The Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry, BCAR, has provided its final public update on the cyber attack on its online business registry system, OBRS, which was detected on August 4th. The OBRS was taken offline for 5 days while an investigation was conducted with the assistance of an external cybersecurity specialist. The registry says the investigation continues to determine the scope of the incident, the information access, and to identify additional security measures needed. The BCAR says the breach stemmed from a vulnerability in the passport-based registration process for limited public user accounts. Main corrective actions include disabling passport-based registration, limiting users' document views and downloads to 100 per hour, strengthening access controls, improving system logging and monitoring for earlier detection, and reviewing configurations. Documents downloaded during the unauthorized access periods have also been marked with a warning icon inside OBRS. The BCAR has not disclosed whether it has identified the individual or group responsible and if the breach originated locally or internationally. The registry has also not indicated if investigators have determined if it was a targeted attack and if there was any intention to steal, leak, or manipulate corporate records. We asked whether the matter has been referred to law enforcement and if there is any evidence the unauthorized access was financially motivated. We were referred back to their cybersecurity incident update page, which does not address those questions. The registry says the incident underscores the need for a stronger cybersecurity framework and that it's pursuing additional measures focused on prevention, detection, response, and interagency cooperation. It is also encouraging other organizations that operate digital platforms or store sensitive information to review their own systems and incident response plans. The BCAR says it has kept registered agents and stakeholders informed throughout the process and will continue direct communication where necessary. A 46-year-old former Belize Defense Force soldier, Richard Carl, is currently on remand at the Belize Central Prison following an alleged shooting incident involving police on his farm in Pomona, Stanquik. According to reports from his family, the incident occurred on Tuesday when Carl was working on his land and 3 plainclothes police officers approached him. The officers reportedly discharged several rounds, hitting Carl in his right leg and killing one of his dogs. After receiving medical treatment at the Carl History Memorial Hospital for a severe leg injury, Carl was released. However, 2 days later, uniformed officers arrested him at his residence and formally charged him with 3 counts of aggravated assault. Carl was arraigned in court on Friday and remanded to prison. On Monday, ASP Stacey Smith said the officers, who she said were on duty and in uniform, claimed Carl shot at them first.
Police have formally arrested and charged Richard Cal of Stan Creek District for 3 counts of aggravated assault. These charges stem from a report made by 3 police officers who stated that on Thursday, 6 August at around 12:30 p.m., they were conducting surveillance along a farm road in Pomona Village when they encountered Mr. Cal. During the course of the interaction, it is alleged that Mr. Cal produced a firearm, his licensed firearm, and fired upon the officers, who in turn returned fire, resulting in Mr. Cal receiving a gunshot wound to the leg. Mr. Cal was transported for medical attention, and the scene was processed by crime scenes technician, who were able to retrieve several items of evidential value. I will not get into too much of the specifics, Mr. Williams, but what I will say is that Mr. Cal was asked a series of questions which would have enabled him to give a response to put forward his version of events. To my knowledge, the notes are interviewed that was conducted with him, he was not as forthcoming. But the matter continues to be reviewed and the media will be advised accordingly. Professional Standard Branch is also conducting a concurrent internal investigation to determine whether the course of conduct taken by the police officers were justified under the circumstances.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has issued an advisory reminding the public about the increased risk of dengue transmission during the rainy season. Dengue, which is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, breeds in stagnant water in containers lying around homes and communities. The ministry emphasizes that dengue can cause mild to severe illness and can even be fatal. The public is reminded that prevention is a shared responsibility, and all homeowners are asked to check their homes, yards and communities for mosquito breeding sites. Businesses must also do the same. Prevention also includes keeping drains, yards, vacant lots and surroundings free of excessive vegetation, garbage and debris. Residents should also ensure doors and windows are properly screened to prevent mosquito entry. And that brings us to the end of this morning news update. We'll take a break and come back for conversation right here live on Creme Radio and on XTV. We'll be right back.
Informative, accurate, current information. Creme's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Calling. Double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Cause me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
right, welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on a Tuesday, 18th August 2026. Mose Hyde is in the house with you on duty hosting today, and different hosts might be here, but the formula is the formula. And our formula says people for talk, right? At least that's the formula we've had for a very long time. We encourage you to activate yourself, get active, and utilize the phone line that is here, and let's just have discussions like you do with people you know, or maybe you might box somebody on the bus or somebody, you know, out by the park doing the exercise and start one lead conversation, or at a market, or you know how anything they go. That's what we do. Weekday mornings. And we call it the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on Creme Radio and the XTV. Alright, nobody brighter than the next person. Nobody know more than the next person. It is by having the conversation we are made for get better understanding of things and people. Right? At least that's how we kind of think about it. So the telephone number for you to call is 280-5848. That is the direct number for you to participate in the conversation, and you've got this window right up until 9. We have our first call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Hey, good morning, Brother Mose.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning.
I'm on here.
Yes, you are on here, sir.
Oh, okay. Brother Mose, I want you to hear me out briefly. First of all, 3 things. I noticed you had the 4 senators on there yesterday. Respect to the senators, but this white elephant that we managed to silence, I don't know for how long, with BTL and Smart, have been the effort of not necessarily the senators, you know. I would say, because, you know, I like to speak my mind, they kind of piggybacking on what persons like yourself, others, myself, Sister Yaya, have been clamoring that what the government was about to embark on was wrong, in terms of to really take our Belizean citizens for a ride.
I don't know why you. I don't know what's going on with your connection. It's just a couple of clips, like it's clip.
Okay, let me see if I'm. What about now? Much better now.
Let's try it. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. In terms of I would not say trunk, but a whole company that technology that is 10 to 20 years old. They was trying to pretty much take a. Hello?
Yes, man. I'm listening to you, brother.
Okay, are you hearing me much better?
Yes, I'm hearing you. We're not having the clipping. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, with the constant reminding our Belizean citizens that that deal was definitely wrong, of which they have been doing a lot of bad things to us in recent years. So this time seems like they're taking heed for now, except of one senator, the brother, I don't remember his name, I think it's Henderson, or the brother in the red that I think was sitting next to your right. That brother seems a bit genuine. Well, most of the senators, I'm not going to bash them, but that brother seems a bit genuine in terms of once it comes to fighting for Belizean people's right. That is the first point. The second, Brother Mose, is that situation with the pageant. I think that was deliberate in terms of publishing Tikal instead of Shunan or Kahalpech or Altunha, etc., etc. I think that was deliberate. Third, we kind of getting cozy with El Salvador. Lots of business, lots of relationship with El Salvador. But to remind the Belizean people, apart from Israel, the United States, Guatemala, when we was clamoring for our independence, El Salvador was not down with us to get independence. They were siding with Guatemala. So to try to get cozy up with them and think that they're so cool now with us. No, we ain't down with that. We got to remember our enemies, I would say. We got to remember the people who still wanted us to be under colonial rule. They was not down with us. So we have to watch the way we are trotting in terms of really opening up so much to El Salvador. They kind of like serpent. They kind of like serpent. They're not too cool. I remember one time ago, some brothers passed through there from Namibia, coming up here. You know, literally on the airport, they touch their skin and think it was pain. That's how they feel about us. And I'm talking straight. And lastly, we ain't saying anything, Brother Mose. We ain't hearing anything. But we have to watch this ICJ matter. Remember, our country is at stake. All you and I have, Brother Mose, is this piece of real estate here we call Belize. So we cannot sleep with nobody else's eyes. We have to sleep with our own eyes. We have to watch that situation. We have to bring our Belizean people up to speed with every minute in terms of whatever decision is being played out over there in The Hague in Europe, because we could be hoodwinked. I don't know if you have a green card. I don't have one. There's nowhere to run to. The only place we could run is back at the zinc fence or back at Motomaro. You understand me? So we have to wake up. We have to keep our people abreast of what is happening locally and internationally, so our people could definitely at the 11th hour or before the 11th hour actually know what is happening, because a lot of people, they're really taking us for a ride.
So,
Brother Mose,
so
go ahead.
So, respect. I just want to push back a little on your assessment of the performance of the 4 independent senators. Listen, one of the things that we always have to reserve the right is to disagree, is to criticize, especially in this that we do, right? We are capable of saying respect on a particular effort, a particular moment, and then going forward when we see there are issues, we are able to say, listen, I don't support that. I think we should be able to say, listen, respect is due, right? We have to really try our best to make everyday people understand exactly what was outstanding about what those senators did. It's not about glorifying individuals. It's about acknowledging, okay, what worked. Because if we can only pay attention when it's time to look at things that are not working, then yes, we know what is wrong, but then we don't know what could be corrected. We don't know what is right. We don't know what right looks like. We only know what fails. We only know that we can't trust anybody. We know that people are out for themselves. We already know that, hey man, a lot of wrong happened. So we have to we have to have a level of appreciation for what the value is when we see something that shows a promise. Now, I feel that even though you might have had, at least in my recollection on this matter, the first person to go on the record against this was my colleague at Channel 7, Jules Vasquez, and then a release was put out. This is this was middle last year, over a year ago, in fact. And then after that, you know, we started to put forward commentaries, but that does not take away from the fact that those senators who were here yesterday, when the matter became clear to them of what was being proposed, they stood, and they did not only take a stand, they maintained a stand, and they maintained a stand based on properly expressed justification. So it wasn't just, like they could be accused of player hating. You know that term we use, Brother Robinson? No, they said, listen, on these grounds, this cannot work as is. And they maintained it, and they were an active part, a critical part of pushing back. And so, you know, you might have a disagreement with an individual senator's position and other things, but you have to understand that what has happened here is that we have the most profound moment of resistance within the structure of government, because the senators are a part of government. So we have this concept that government is only the executive, or we have the concept that government is only the ministers, or government is only the winning party. But the whole apparatus is government. And the problem is that the government absolutely is lopsided. It lacks structural, it doesn't accommodate within its present structure much room for resistance. So when something comes from the top, it rolls downhill, and it's just do what you want, you say what you want, we do what we want. And so we have this little moment, this little light comes on, where I don't know how long we've had. I think we've had now this version of the Senate for about a decade and a half, maybe two. I can't recall the specific year when it's about just under 2 decades, because the vote for it was in 2008. So this present configuration of the Senate has been there, and we've had things like the Senate inquiry, and we're like, blah, meh, that really not impressed with, nothing really happened. And you might have individual moments when a senator might take a position, and they might have you've had some votes that have the opposition and the independent media, independent senators have voted in a way that have forced the president of the Senate to have to cast the deciding vote. But ultimately, what we experienced here was not only senators taking a vote against a thing. There was activism, and they came out and they put themselves in it, and it had tremendous value. Now, you know, a part of the conversation we had yesterday, Brother Robinson, that we try to say, well, okay, what do we have here? Because as they remarked, I don't know if you heard this, they said, well, and I think it was, no, I think it's Sister Yaya who raised the point, and brilliantly so, that the way things work is that their stand here is going to catch the attention of the powerful. and they're going to say no, that we are not comfortable with that. That kind of coming together and start to smell yourself. We can't really support that, so we have to pull the rug on it. We got to pull the plug on that. That's the way the system works. It's like, uno upstart, uno think uno could cut style pan we and start to feel like uno has something special. We are pull the plug. So if we know, if we're not here saying that this that right now we have that what we have here, that the super, like the Avengers, and no, we don't have to worry about nothing. No, we just had a good moment, but that can be a fleeting moment because the hungs are out for chew that up. So we have to understand what's going on and then now try figure out, okay, how does this become something more than just a moment? How can we hold you accountable? Because we have to continue to hold you accountable. It's not like we're here now and they are now going to be divine, they can't do any wrong. No, they are human beings, and they have a certain amount of power. You have to be watching them and keeping them out there. This is not any kind of praise and worship going on here, but it's the mechanism. It is the moment that we need everyday people, Brother Robinson, to just look upon it and say, okay, I might never pay attention, but I like what's going on there, and I don't want to feel like, okay, whatever improvement you know come with, whatever, we don't want to try unplug that. You understand what I said, brother?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Brother Mose. Hello?
Yes, man. I'd ask if you
Are they with you? The only thing though, as I said, because remember, each senator is representing their own institution. They're not necessarily representing the grassroots as per se.
Yeah.
They have their own agenda, as in the case of Miss Shanona, she did make mention that, yes, she represents the women's rights, and nothing wrong with that. All respect to females, and all respect to seeing about the interests of females, that they are taken care of. Maximum respect to that. Yeah. In respect to Pastor Wade, he represent the churches, and the other senator, the environment, and the other senator, the Chamber of Commerce. But no. You have a senator representing labor, a senator representing the churches, a senator representing the NGOs, and a senator representing business, the chamber. Chamber, correct.
And let me just say this, Brother Robinson. As I said yesterday, both on air and off air, and previously to that, I have been critical. I am not a fan. I have never been a fan of this. I describe it as a half-cooked concept of an elected Senate. Okay? I am very uncomfortable with the way that that it was essentially just it was a kind of a random, almost unilateral determination of, what groups will get a chance to be represented in the Senate. That was done after the 2008 referendum vote. So it was like, okay, you know what? We're going to create one for this one. But it was kind of arbitrary and special interest. And then the way, and so I have not been a fan of it. But why I'm not a fan of it is that what I have been made to understand by those who were heavily advocating for this kind of empowerment in the Senate is that whatever we end up with, what the objective is to create a structure that can be that can have pushback, that is not just a rubber stamp. So what has happened here is that even though I am a critic of its present configuration and the way it is set up and how it came to be, I am an absolute fan of the performance and what it achieved essentially, even though it is not how I want it to be designed, it was able to still achieve what we want it to achieve, which is to say, listen, we are not going to be rubber stamping things that are coming down out of the executive and the legislature. We are here to do serious work, and when necessary, we are going to bring ourselves together and get outside of the Senate House, and we are going to be advocating and we'll be pushing back on things. So I don't want you to think that I don't have concerns about some of the details or some of the specifics of, you know, who is representing what and whatever. But I will be a hypocrite if I don't have tremendous appreciation for what those particular senators were able to say. Listen, you can't for make 4 individuals have that kind of a solidarity, and then it represent 4 different temperature and 4 different kind of mentality. Remember, you have labor and business people who are holding solidarity. That is a historically adversarial relationship. But on this issue, they found common ground, maintained common ground, and fought. And that was in the interest of Alawi. That is not to say that this is all the time, but on this matter, they were defending what was the best interest of everybody. Not just including the people they were representing, obviously, but they were standing on ground that was in the interest of all. And so we have to respect it and recognize it, in my view. I know to hear your brother, so...
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of your commentary, certain point, definitely, Brother Mose, I would agree with. But my decision in terms of making the statement I did is because when you hear persons like yourself, Sister Yaya, myself, and others clamoring for the downtrodden and the people of Belize that is really suffering and the chances being taken of them by people that could do much better for the liberty of our people, the senators, maybe it is because of protocol that they would not speak the way you or I or Sister Yaya or others would speak. And bearing in mind too that they represent certain segment of the society that is really not feeling what our brothers and sisters is feeling in Gongolong or Bakatong or Jane Usher or elsewhere in this country, where right now they have to get up in the morning and eat piece of packed bread with some noodles. You feel me? They're not feeling that. I've been through it, you've been through it, so we know what our brothers and sisters in the ghettos is feeling. Therefore, they need to be more forthcoming wherever they get into parliament and speak up the way that they should speak, so the common man and women on the street could say, well, you know what, this senator is representing us. This other senator is representing us, and not only the churches or not only the Chamber of Commerce, because them people, they have their bread buttered. But I was watching that. I was watching that flick with Chris, the brother who go around the world, you know, and highlighting different cities and countries, etc., etc. And Brother Mose, I do cabbie. Apart from an operator, I do cabbie. I'm a cabbie also. And I know every corner in Belize City. But some areas, Brother Mose, where that brother showed on his program, my God, I'm not even going to name Africa. Not even Haiti. Not even Haiti. The people in Haiti is living like that. How our people is living in Belize City. My goodness, 2026, the poverty that our people is in, it is pathetic. It is shameful. It is mad to have our people living like that. Oh my God. And I'm not exaggerating. You see me? So these people really need to get their act together and make we burn fire on poverty. Yeah. We cannot allow it in a country of 400,000 people, our people to be living like this in the name of Jesus.
Okay, but
I am talking facts, Brother Mose. And this is why I spoke and I said that the senators cannot be piggybacking on what the grassroots warriors are saying and then come there and take credit. I'm not down with that. Thanks, Brother Mose. I will continue to listen to you often. Enough respect, my brother.
Yeah. So, two things can be true. And in fact, many times that is the case, bro. If you look at the pushback, it will not put food on anybody's table today, unfortunately. It will not help with the school fees that people are faced this very moment. This morning, in fact, I think you've seen social media, the flocks of Belizeans that go out to Melchor as a way of trying to minimize the cost of just sending children to school. The pushback on what was attempted here is not going to have an immediate direct benefit or easing for those who have to try to find the resources to deal with those bills. It will not help our most in need citizens, children, families, single mothers, struggling youths trying to find income. It's not going to immediately make their existence any better. Not by a single atom will it have an immediate impact or benefit or improvement. And so for some, they find no value, have no interest, and are absolutely unconcerned about whether or not an acquisition was achieved or stopped. And one would have to perfectly understand that. That is their truth. That's where they're living. And in their world, if it doesn't help me right now deal with the burden I'm carrying, if it doesn't improve the dire situation that I'm in, if it doesn't help me pay the landlord, if it doesn't help me pay the light bill, the phone bill, the water, why am I even concerned about that? Why is that even my business? Not my business. What big people want to do, they've been doing it forever. And then do what they want anyway. That is how it is being experienced. And that is the reason why there is the kind of, you would say, detachment from it. And That is what you are describing on the ground level, the grassroots level, where things bitter. The reality is that somebody, they would be, and I'm sure that they do, want to know, well, why you even spend some of your precious talk show moments just want to talk about that issue. Like, what are the necessity of talking about that anyway? Why be so concerned about that? Why be so passionate about that? Why that even anything for be worried about? That are not even for we, that are not even for we thing. We don't got nothing in that. And then I would have to push back and say, while pushing back on that acquisition is not going to immediately bring a betterment to you, improvement, not a copper, not a dollar. In my humble view, when we allow such things to happen, for sure, the bitterness of it always ends up hardest on the lowest level. When the nation's resources are managed in a way, and when choices and policies and decisions are being made which are not being calculated as to whether or not it's going to serve the interests of all of us, but to serve the interests of a narrow few. When we push back successfully on that, it doesn't make it better for those who are suffering the most, but it prevents more bitterness from coming. At least that's the first level of benefit. And it then gives us the opportunity to then fight to make sure that such resources that were going to be squandered in that way can be utilized in a better way, which then we can only hope, because we know what suffering looks like every day, that it somehow goes to those who will definitely need just a small break. And that's why, even though the stand taken by the senators was not about trying to get extra loaves of bread on tables that need it, and it has to be all of our concern, and we have to continue to be a watchguard to ensure that the things that are important to the people who are at the table of power, that they are always conscious of where the most important needs are. That's the job we have to do. But we also have to understand that there are things which you might not immediately see the benefit from, but that are critical and they are important. It's important to everyone, all the way, no matter how rich you're rich, or poor you're poor. If we create one governmental structure, we got more balance than the one we presently have. Again, it's not going to immediately bring bread and betterment. It's not going to defend the school books and the school bag. We have to try to figure out now. And all the long list of fees will get added on to basic tuition fees. I say one of my colleagues here at work brought me one of the things from the school, and the actual sheet has all the fees outside of tuition fees added up to over $1,500, and it has to be found. Fixing the governmental structure and talking about that doesn't seem connected any at all. I understand that, but it is. It absolutely is, and we cannot spend enough time trying to make that connection, because we want you to understand that there is this fundamental connection about trying to create a kind of a balance in power, so that you can't have abuse of power, which then results in the abuse of resources. And when that happens, it results in a pain and more suffering. So, two things are true, Brother Robinson. Give thanks for your call. It is 7:32, and we're going to go to 2 Cents Calm, and then we take our first break of the morning here inside the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes.
Watching WUB, this is XTV. Big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. I will dip on the mahogany. They talk to some of the vendors there, you know, so just make some of you guys get familiar with the hours and the time and the day when they do job, right? We find out in 2 cents.
Well, I don't know, vendors in mahogany street, I sell bread, buns and cake for them. And I don't feel like I say 4 times to the week because I'm going to church on Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday I do job.
Yes, brother. Mida Russell Santos, better known as Paula Rossi. I live there 6640 Mahogany. You could come in and see me from 8 to 5. I always available. I reasonable. I work for the Mahogany. God, the Mahogany is blessed. Blessed with brick.
5:15 to whenever I'm finished, basically to 7 or 8. I have bread, 1 candy cake, chicken, 2 chicken parts, 2 beef, chicken, beans, 1. Yeah. My name is Natasha, so feel free to come by for me. Thanks.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet with the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
With the launch of this website, the magistracy reaffirms its commitment to making justice more accessible, transparent, and something that looks very familiar to everyone who comes before the court.
For a person facing criminal proceedings, the website provides information on how the criminal process works, how to apply for bail, and how to appeal a decision. For someone who needs to access the family court, information about the services provided, together with the relevant forms and guidance, can now be found in one accessible location. Similarly, information on how civil claims are brought in the magistrate court is available on the website. These may seem like simple things, but they are not insignificant. For the ordinary citizen, knowing where to go, what form to complete, what procedure to follow, and what to expect can make the difference between feeling completely lost in the justice system and feeling empowered to navigate it. This website places important information and documents within reach of every citizen with access to the internet.
And our goal is really to build public confidence. The launch is supposed to, stimulate that so that the public can go online, click the link, play around with the website, get familiar with it. Also, we would definitely want the Bar Association and other key stakeholders, the lawyers, to promote the use of this website, and also the court staff.
We are often the face of justice that the ordinary Belizean is more likely to meet. That is not a burden we resent. It is a responsibility that we embrace. If we are, for so many, the only door into the justice system, then we owe it to them to make that door easier to open.
The way Belize uses electricity is changing. At home, families are using more devices, smarter appliances, and connected technology. Across the country, businesses are growing, industries are expanding, and communities are finding new ways to live, work, and move forward. Behind that progress, the energy system must continue to grow with Belize. At BL, modernizing the grid is part of preparing for what comes next. A grid with greater visibility, more accurate information, and better tools to manage energy as needs change. Through investment in digital systems, upgraded infrastructure, and improved monitoring, BL is strengthening how electricity is managed and delivered across the country. Not just for today's needs, but for the future Belize is building. As new technology emerges, from solar generation to community energy systems, the grid must be ready to support them safely, reliably, and sustainably. This is the work of modernization, step by step, system by system, community by community, helping prepare Belize for a more connected, resilient, and sustainable energy future.
When I install an AC system, I recommend Ream from Bennett's. Unlike inferior units that drive up electricity costs, restrict yard flow, and wear out quickly, Ream has the right solution for every space. With a wide range of options, I can choose the right Ream system to keep every customer cool, comfortable, and satisfied. Because at Bennett's, quality is saving.
Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and saving.
Catu's Trucking is the one place that can handle all your concrete mix needs. 50-pound sandbags, white sand, sand and gravel, river sand, black dirt, clay and landfill, washed white sand, concrete mix and limestone. We also do land clearing, road construction, and excavation. For all your building and home projects, visit us at mile 14 on the Philip Golson Highway. Call or WhatsApp at 673-1118, 671-9199, or 661-5863. We're open Mondays to Saturdays. Our prices are so good you can't get a better deal anywhere. Catu's Trucking, where we do things right.
You're up against some tough challenges, but not all heavy-duty lubricants can handle the pressure. Until now, introducing Ridgeline Lubricants, a homegrown solution engineered right here to solve the hurdles you face every day. backed by experts who understand the ups and downs of where you're operating and what's at stake. Specially formulated to protect your equipment so you can push past grueling hours, heavy loads, and harsh conditions to reach for greater productivity. Ridgeline Lubricants. Long live your equipment.
Alright, well, excuse me. Alright, welcome back to the WB Wakeability's Morning Vibes. It's Tuesday morning, the 18th of August, 2026. And of course, this is the place where you link and can engage. All you need to do is to call. The number is 280-5848. Make the phone sing. That's what we hope for every single weekday morning. Right here on Crumb Radio and on XTV. I'm Mose. I'm on duty hosting today. And tomorrow, if I have the health and strength, we're here with you until 9 this morning. And the conversation continues right here. And we have a call. Creme, good morning, WUB.
Morning, brother. Morning, today. Good morning, brother.
Greetings, greetings. I'm okay. How are you?
Good, thanks. I could do so more sleep.
Me too.
The truth is, brother, most of we don't know how we're governed. I mean, you don't have no interest because we indeed deal with bread and butter issues. And well, a lot of we, including me, not really give the senators much energy. We're more familiar with the House members and the antics for the most part. And if something not really in our ears over the news, no, I leave it to the cabinet members. So I think it's really important that, we always need more knowledge sharing, education about a lot of things. But if you could take a lead time this morning and just tell away, why we should have studied as senators? Because, and I think you make an excellent point, and you've been making it that more than two things are true at the same time. First and foremost, the senators do that to represent one particular sector interest, right? Then they therefore represent labor, business, church, non-governmental organization, or as I call it, non-governmental organization. That's the first and foremost for their interest. And like you say, you have concerns about the whole structure. In this instance, I don't really want to know now. I think about it for yesterday, Mose. Maybe they say that I miss it. What makes them unify in the interest of the regions and not their sector? Because I want to know what that it was. Because whatever that it was, they focused on moving forward. Yeah. But for their mandate, that's for their sector.
Yeah.
So what that are it?
I think that there is no, from my understanding, there is no uniform. I feel that the present structure of the, I would have to do a bit more research because my memory is not clear. What exactly what are the exact origins of the present design? My memory said that this ultimately is the brainchild of the former Prime Minister, Mr. Barrow. After the 2008 referendum failure, where it didn't reach the threshold, even though the majority of those who did vote on it said, yeah. No, like other referendums, or there's not been so many, but the kind of engagement and education campaign leading up into that vote was very little. So at that point in 2008, the administration that was going to be voted out was extremely unpopular, and people were very just eager to just get to the ballot box to kick them the hell out of Belmopan. That was what people were really about. So the elected Senate thing might have been kind of a desperation attempt on the part of the outgoing administration to say, try to project a reform agenda. And so it was not something that was done with any sincerity or anything that was done with any kind of substance. It was gimmicky. But there was a legitimate push for a time, like maybe even I would say maybe about 10 to 15 years, like coming out of the mid-90s, going into the Mose administration, where you had organizations like We the People who were driving a reform agenda. And one of the drums that they were beating was the idea that we needed to have an elected Senate. And the thing about having an elected Senate would be that the Senate, we don't want the Senate to be a rubber stamp. It was born out of the conviction that we had an executive that didn't the design, and you know, it's effectively a 5-year executive dictatorship, meaning that the power is extremely concentrated, because this whole process where the House of Representatives is supposed to be a place where the executive is checked, and then the Senate then comes in as a second layer that checks it, is a delusion, and it was more so a delusion before. That was just an optical illusion that there's any checks and balances. It's not there. And so the reformers, and at the time I'm a much younger person and starting to pay more attention than I was paying when I was younger than that, when I was up in my own world. And so those things started to soak into me. The idea that the power is too concentrated, and that is never a good thing. You know the old saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So you ended up with this vote in 2008, and then coming out of that, I believe we have this concept of the 13 senators, and you would have senator for this, senator for that. But that was never there was never a conversation, consultation, engagement, education, campaign. It just seemed well, I don't know, make we please this group, that group, that group. It was politically it was a brilliant structure, because generally speaking, you would find that, and I think Senator Wade mentioned it, that the church is not into, as he described it, into they're into soft power. walk in an office and have dialogues. They're not into confront. And of all those sectors, the labor would have been the area that would be of highest concern for any ruling administration, because in the 2000s, labor was very strong, the 2005 protests and everything. So, but then you end up, you have the churches and you have the business. These are very conservative, and NGOs, these are conservative gatherings of people and interests, not places of activism or say more in your face kind of activism. And so the only area where they say, and then the problem became that the NGOs chose a representative that was not to the liking of the ruling administration, and they kind of did not put in place that 13th senator for a while. The 13th senator did not become a reality until the teachers protested in 2016. So the very fact that the ruling administration, the Barrow administration, were reluctant to do that shows that that they are conscious of the fact that even as undesirable as the present hybrid kind of situation is, it still represented a reduction in their absolute power to do what they want. So that means that whatever you think of the various special interest groups, the fact is that structurally it represented a change. And so they saw trouble in that and were not willing to do it. It was people pressure coming out of the teachers that really pushed that. And we ended up finally having the full set of senators as it was to be coming out of the 2008 referendum. And these are things that I stand to be corrected, but I is setting things out of memory, right? I don't have no notes in front of me where I read from. Then I found out of my memory. So you have a situation now where you did have it, but as you can imagine, you don't have, in fact, I think I mentioned on air, and if I didn't, I mentioned off air, they're like we play Bolido, because you could end up with some very rotten sellouts, a compromise, soft, no cable, nothing, people take their positions there. And, because each sector have one different way how they go about forming consensus to determine who are representing it. So you've had senators come and represent the church where then I'm a waste of time. And you've had some people get there where they're not interested in a confront or rock the boat at all. They're not players. Their time there was unremarkable. And it is not that the present group it has changed how they get there or what they represent. Is that based on everything that I have seen and heard and has unfolded, is that there is a level of coordination going on, because there's a level of seriousness, and it is as coordinated a group of quote-unquote independent senators that we've ever had. And you and I know how difficult it is for people who are representing different special interests to be able to find common ground. I don't agree, I don't support, and I completely, in fact, to be honest with you, outraged by some of the positions that Senator Wade has taken, for example, on things like Israel, Gaza, Trump, and matters like that. Cuba, the Cuban Brigade, the latest one that I completely disagree with Pastor Wade and Senator Wade on. So it is not that they are not, that we surrender the right to disagree, to call out, to have a problem with, but at the same time, the fact that they were able to, as a group, coordinate and align in a way that is unprecedented. Not only a matter of just taking a vote in the Senate, you know, it's the activism that accompanied this stand. Now, how do they go about choosing which issue they will do that on? I don't know. How do they determine, how do they pursue this kind of solidarity position? I don't know. I don't know how they protect, strengthen, and become a better version that we want. I don't know. These are things we have to discuss. What I am absolutely clear on, sister, is that I do not want any of the power vultures who are so offended by the fact that we've had this moment try to devour and unplug what we have seen emerge. And as you know, as you can recall, the question I asked, I feel this is the answer to my own question when I asked whether or not this was just a matter of you know, we get lucky and we number play insofar as having individuals where, you know, whatever their shortcomings have been able to forge together, find solidarity, and in fact have become problematic to power, because power is not only bothered by what has taken place with BTL, they're also bothered by the fact that this particular installment of the Senate is being so meticulous that they have slowed down the bills that are coming into the House, into the Senate House, and so now they are sending back things to the government. Government is not happy about that. They don't want anybody to be there crossing T's and dotting I's for them, or telling them that can't fly the way it is, that no structure properly, that no do properly, that their concerns and you better fix that. No, they're not used to that. So whatever quarrels we will have, and we will maintain the right to have those quarrels. We are maintaining the right to have differences. But at the same time, because I remember the spirit with which the reform agenda made the argument that we needed to do something different at the Senate, that the objective, not the present design, I can't recall them proposing this design. Maybe they did and I stand to be corrected. But what they wanted to achieve was that they wanted to prevent or to change the Senate from just being a little rubber stamp. And so I am completely comfortable to say that we had its most powerful manifestation of that vision. Those people who were speaking on this matter, I can remember Patrick Rogers, but Bautista. I can remember some of the people who would come on my show. It's how I learned. You understand, sister? So I can recall this was the vision. This was the vision. The dream they had was that the Senate would be pushing back. And while it is not born out of the configuration of the Senate. It's not because of the way it's been structured or the design or how with the overall everything, constitution, the whole government. No, none of that. but it's still nice. We could still enjoy it though.
And
so it's for me. I completely recognize that's what's going on, and I respect it, and that's all I am trying to say and defend now. I think it's just important to people might have a difficulty understanding. Well, but when it is about this or when it is about that, that's the same thing they do with, say for example, the BNTU. That we get in our habit, we feel like, okay, well, anything where go wrong, well, where the BNTU there? Because they for be the one. I don't subscribe to that. And I know that you don't subscribe to that. That is the reason why you have led the most one-person protest in the history of Belize, at least from my understanding. Maybe you could correct me and tell me that when you go and check the archives, you had other people who were doing it in the 1900s and in the 1800s. But to my understanding, you have set the world record in one-woman protest in Belize, because you don't believe in waiting to see who is going to join. Now we can argue whether or not you should remix that. Have a critic, a mutual special person who is a critic of that. But at the same time, the mentality is that we're not waiting to see who want to do it. We know that the first thing we want to do is to move ourselves and be prepared to be moved and be prepared to stand and be prepared to march, rather than so what we now have is how it's supposed to be. So now moving forward, when we see something that needs to be stopped, we have to find out from our senatorial quartet how come we're not sing right now. That we want to start singing on this one, and we have the right. We have a right for say, well, you're there, but we also have a responsibility to include ourselves in that. That's just my view. I spoke at length. I never want to sound so preachy, but I think you forced me to just you're challenging me for kind of just unpack things a little bit more, hoping, of course, that with more people could just could say, because as you pointed out yesterday, sister, and you are critical of all the senators, you are critical of the whole Senate, you critical and you born there, but you also. I think I was so personally proud that you were able to say, listen, they were kung fu now, so how we could be supportive and make sure that Uno could stay strong, so that we could get Uno there for burning out some more. Like that. That to me is really looking at it in the way how you have to look upon it. Hello?
Real talk.
Huh?
Real talk, and I appreciate, because I the land, and I did relearn. So I appreciate you talking at length, but this is way important that we get it, because once we get it, then in the future we are looked after for our own interests, like defending when they're confident, or other such people. But that's why the knowledge sharing and the education is so critical and important, because when you learn something, it starts to unlock other things that happen in your life, and it's like you your body feels so good, like, yeah, it makes sense now. And then you're hungry for learn more and talk to other people, and it's like, yo, so like one time will come when nobody know I have to holler for you or tell you to come out or pay you for you want naturally come, because your life will make sense in a way where it never makes sense before, and that's why knowledge sharing is so important, and that's why a lot of people may choose to go the formal schools, but you don't have to in a formal schools to get the level of awareness and knowledge to liberate yourself and know that I have one duty for joining in the liberation of other people's struggle. So
sister, again, not your favorite place, and not mine, even though I think there are parts of it that I do love, United States of America. In a couple of months, is going to have a thing called the midterm elections. And I love. And you know, it was not created to do what it has ended up doing. It was not created, it was not envisioned when it was put in place as some kind of way how, able to could check the executive power, but that's what it has become. But the reason why the midterm elections is the talk of the planet in 2026, from Cuba to Iran to the folks in Western Sahara to all over the world, there's never been another more anticipated midterm elections in the United States of America that I know of, like the one coming up in November. And the only reason such a creature has value is because the president will remain the president, but if that result goes against him, he is done. His power is removed. He will continue to have his plane, his office, his house, his Secret Service protection, all of that he will have. But the power, because the power is divided at present, he has all the power. Because he has worshippers and the numbers in both parts of Congress, in the House and in the Senate. In November, the entire House will face elections, and about 33, I think, senators, not the whole Senate, it's the way they designed it. Only 33 of the senators are going to face elections in November. But if those results go against the president, he has no power. And in fact, because of the things that have happened, there is a likelihood that a good number of people are going to face jail time. Oh yeah. That's the power that the Congress has. Everybody where they high and mighty right now will be brought in front of them. No, you don't know what the results are going to be. For people and brothers and sisters in Cuba, the midterm election is like then they have one election on their own island. For all of us, the implications of that midterm are real. But that's not why I am speaking about it. I'm speaking about it is because the way that they have structured their thing, the way that their constitution and the way that they have created separation of power and balance of power is that as mighty and as powerful as this person has been, the system is trying to unplug any individual or individuals from having the power of kings or queens for that matter. In Belize, the power that is concentrated in our executive is far greater than the power that President Trump has right now, even with his entire Senate and Congress. The pound for pound, the concentration of power in our executive is greater And no election until the election impacts that. None. You get excited about anyone and say, oh, municipal elections come up and you have a right for the term who want to be a municipal leadership. Absolutely. The point is that we now have a system where we try to see how we could reduce the concentration of power. So that is the value of what has happened here. You might not like how this come together, but you have to respect the manifestation. What was the dream that reform people had when they figure, no, we have to do something different. And I know the claim to have been one of those individuals who were clamoring for that. I was just somebody who heard, and it made sense to me. And it makes sense to me today. And I continue to listen to other people to become better, to learn more, to appreciate, to understand, so that we got a better idea of where we should have want. Because we're not only supposed to have clarity of where we know want, we have to have one clarity about where we want. Like, yes, we don't want corruption. We don't want abuse of power. We don't want create gods. We don't want elect gods. But we also have to know where we want. That has to be clear to us. And more importantly, how we achieve where we want. Talk too long, sister. Talk too long, but give thanks for the reasoning.
Big respect, brother. We learn a lot. Unorganized people and save the people. Thanks, Mose.
Give thanks. 30 minutes after the clock. We'll be back.
Hello Belize, if you're looking for the perfect home air conditioner, then listen up. First, choose the right tonnage. Correct sizing means perfect cooling and much lower electricity bills. Now, look for efficiency. GREE uses AI-driven performance to optimize cooling and fight high energy costs. Lastly, don't just cool your air, clean it. Demand health-focused air treatment and smart connected features. Get the global leader in smart home comfort. Contact us today to find your perfect GREE AC.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I heard they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
Everything in that store.
When EMS hit, our survival rate was 1%, 2%, 5%. I think if we got 10%, we were lucky. And we kept, like I mentioned earlier, we kept trials, and then we started to improve. And now, I must say that we are seeing much, much better. We are 50, 60, 70, 72% survivals with the funds right now.
We are only using about 30% of the entire acreage that we have. We have plans to completely fill up all the ponds, so that automatically increases the production capacity for our farm in general, but all the farms in general also, because we do keep in touch as a growers association, and then we talk about what's their ramp up plan, and everybody is very hopeful of the industry growing back to its previous glory.
At one point there were 17 shrimp swamps, and over the period 11 closed down. But with Mr. Robbie interest, I can see that restoration coming every single day. Just around COVID, the production dropped to 1.02 million. And as we progress this year, we expect to reach at least 3 million pounds of shrimps in the country. And I hope that those that are investing in shrimps today
we'll definitely see progress maybe 3 or 4 years up there.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
It was rainy, muddy, playing in a whole heap of mud.
We actually started working out of an apartment with about 6 of us. It was only 9 of us.
About 15 of us, not sure where we were heading.
I came from Cancun, Mexico for an interview and I didn't go back.
First time working a big girl job. And if you didn't know, you had to figure it out. I didn't know anything about plumbing, so I had to study YouTube.
We won the bid.
I definitely have to ask your boss to give you a raise. I plan on retiring here. 8:39 in the night, I'm still picking up the phone and each layer matters, guys.
I want to see or hear people say that Design Depot is a family.
Design Depot to me is like a family.
And we all combine to make this one beautiful Sunday dinner. I don't know who might be the salad, but
1, 2, 3.
Never stop.
The success of my business means a lot to my family, especially my brother, because I'm continuing his legacy, making butterfly art collages. It was very hard for me to receive payments. I had to go directly to meet the person I'm purchasing from and who I'm selling to receive payment. Because I opened my business account with Atlantic Bank, now I can make and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Have a vision? We've got what you need. From idea to install, Brothers Habet, all your building needs under one roof.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
All right, 24 minutes after the clock. Welcome back. WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Tuesday morning here on Creme Radio on XTV. Mose, Hyde hosting today. The telephone number is 280-5848. That's how we operate. That's how you get on. That's how you get to chat and reason, discuss. And hopefully you are able to do that before 9 o'clock. All right. This is Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. And we've been chatting a lot about the Senate and the gone into some reform conversation and all of that. That's quite a rabbit hole. Yeah. A couple things that we need to just touch on as we look at the time. So after we spent a lot of last week, at least when I was on the show, and I think Brother Nuri as well, reasoning about this situation with the fish kill in the Belize River. And we made the case why that was something that is a high priority, which I think many people appreciated. The Department of the Environment has been doing the assessment of the situation, and they presented us with some findings yesterday, which the findings not really find nothing yet. I am not an expert in these things. I don't know how long it takes to, or how difficult it is to have a definitive conclusion and to know exactly what is responsible or who is responsible. I can't be the judge of that. But I am I'm not comfortable with, as I expressed last week, with the fact that we basically got one horse in this race, and that the Department of the Environment. And that is not to say they are not capable of determining conclusively what caused the situation. We are still hearing about possible theories and scenarios. And I'm just not too comfortable with all of that. But we have a call. Krem, good morning. WUB.
Good morning, Mose. Morning, Brother Mose.
Good morning, Brother Will.
Yeah. Good morning. Hey, man. I know, like, I didn't follow up on the government timing this morning, but I just want to, like, remind the people, I believe, that, you know, we are getting ready to celebrate our 45th anniversary, or 45th birthday as a nation, and still more than 2 weeks now, and we can't pinpoint, my brother, where this pollution or what is killing the fishes or what was killing the fishes in the Belize River. And I just find that alarming and disturbing that we cannot pinpoint that, you know. I mean, that's just, that I cannot buy that story, and I cannot believe it. And I am still, like, alarmed that I am not hearing from any of the chairpersons of those villages that were affected by this fish kills. I mean, it's just alarming to me. I mean, I don't know what do you think? People need to happen before our people could, like, really realize that, you know what, they're really killing us.
I think, listen, maybe the respective village chairpersons, because you can, I know you have female chair, you have chair ladies as well. So chairpersons, let's say, of the various villages might not be the kind of individuals who when they organize a press conference or you know, they do that, or they reach out to the media or whatever. Maybe they're on the ground dealing with what they deal with. But I would support your assessment that they need to make themselves more visible. Let us assume that they do work on the ground. Let us assume that they engage with the authorities and that they make sure that they pan top right. Let us assume that. I still feel like, as you do, that they have to be visible, they have to be public, and they got to be speaking out to make we hear they represent their various communities. Absolutely. I am, you know, I saw I heard some of what was being said yesterday, and like I say, essentially what they say is that the findings is that we don't have one finding yet.
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
You know, I mean, come on, this thing here, we're going on with the area representatives of the area there, we know a hurricane, and camera about all, and then they show themselves to me, this is like very, very serious, man. So serious matter.
You would be more likely to know individuals who have, even if you don't have the specific expertise in testing water quality or assessing what has happened, you would know more people who are trained in ecology and all of that. You've had any conversations at all with anybody and hear what they're saying? Are they similarly not comfortable with what is unfolding here?
Yeah, to be honest, no, not really. I haven't really had any discussions with any of the various NGOs who are working in the area to say, man, this is some crazy stuff. We need to get together. We need to find out what's wrong. And no, I haven't heard that. But similarly, you have various NGOs who work in the area. I see the other day that the Nature Conservancy, which is an international NGO, have signed an agreement with the Ministry of Sustainable Development, and I was alarmed that, yes, while they are working in Belize, I mean, we don't have no local NGOs who could have been a part of that. It's just crazy to me.
I don't recall the name of the. I don't recall the name of the organization of the. We had a one, I believe I could say, scientist from the Savannah. What was the field station or something?
Yeah, Savannah Field Station.
Okay, so we had that one voice come out, right? I can't recall the person's name, but that's the only non-government individual that has dared to speak on this issue.
Yeah, and I think that really Mose, I think Savannah Field Station, as I understand, actually a guy, I mean, I can't confirm this, but for me, he come out knowing that Savannah Field Station is a government field station. That's how I understand it.
So he's not even he's not,
call it as it is.
He's not an NGO affiliate. He's actually just the,
He's passionate about Hikiti, that I could tell you. He's passionate about
Hikiti.
Saving the Hikiti.
Like all of us, for maybe different reasons. But so he come out and he kind of many talk, listen, we got some concerns here. And you are saying that he would actually be like a government paid, and he was willing to still go on the record with this.
Yeah, that's my assumption, because as far as I know, Savannah Field Station is a government-owned station down in Savannah, way down south there by Mango Creek.
Oh, that's not even in the River Valley area.
No, this brother just concerned about river and watershed management, and especially the Hikiti. And he knew up there have a lot of Hikiti, so I'm sure that is what motivated him to go up there and dig in.
Respect.
No, he's not even from the area.
Oh, respect. So, but none of the NGOs, protection people in that area have said anything at all? Not even anything on Facebook?
I don't see anything was, and I'm concerned, and I see nothing, absolutely nothing. Dr. Colin Young did make a statement on Facebook, with respect due to that. I think he was interviewed by one of the media houses. But other than that, this is over 2 weeks now, my brother. The other day I saw a turtle being tagged, right, Mose, with a tiny, tiny little, probably the size of a head of a needle. They insert something into this turtle, and they could monitor this turtle wherever part in the world this turtle go. We have that kind of technology, and yet the government going to come to us and say we still research what caused the death of these fishes. That's just ridiculous to me.
I find it hard to believe, and maybe that because I ignorant and not gonna know the green and anything that when the dude Mr. Miles said that, well, the crocodile could get the oxygen, the low oxygen in the water, no one bother them, but the low oxygen will cause one increase in algae and bacteria, and that will kill the crocodile. I'm like, I don't know what kind of a bacteria or algae could kill the crocodile. Then so all I could say is, if the bacteria and algae kill the crocodile, then there are some serious level bacteria and algae, because from everything I have read and every documentary that I have watched on crocodiles, that then they could survive on nuclear holocaust.
Yep.
That then are some of the toughest creatures beside cockroaches when they walk the face of the earth. So, boy, that deep.
I mean, like a serious thing, but again, Mose. I mean, people. Maybe they're not feeling this effect now, you know. Maybe they're not conscious that they are feeling this.
One thing they always put in on a statement: Santander is doing everything that is cooperating fully.
I noticed that, Mose. I noticed that. Oh, the people here, they're pure. They got their full funds. You know.
Then they cooperate.
Like who's paying who here? You know, it's crazy, man.
Right.
We have a lot of smart businesses who could see beyond that. Where are those voices, brother?
I mean, I know they had to convict Santander. I just find it very interesting that every time they talk about anything, it has to be made abundantly clear that Santander is well behaved, cooperating perfectly well with us. But you know, if there any suspect we got that is how you end up clear?
Right.
How you end up clear? How you end up?
Rice farm with a 300 acres versus the cane farm with about 10 or 20,000 acres. You know, the same watershed.
How you end up clear 300 acres without? That was another thing, Joe.
Yeah. Nobody noticed. 300 acres, they get clear. I mean, you know, man all the way to New Zealand could pick up and say, whoa, look where they go on, I believe. It's forest, they get deforested by the hundreds of acres.
So I'm curious as to why it is proposed that the solution to this is to say we need to increase the reserve requirement.
Riparian forest zone, 66 feet.
I don't like, nobody even observe that. No. There's no enforcement of the 66 foot.
Yeah, I mean.
And then, what you want to do? Push it to 100 foot so that will make the thing not drain? That will stop it from drain? How far would they from the side? I just find that interesting how they reason this one out. But it's no laughing matter. The water that you
consume. You see how that pollution could destroy the inside of the crocodile, and the crocodile comes floating up dead. You know, we as human beings, right here, especially people who drinking that water, it might be a year or 2 years or 3 years down the line before that really kick in and the inside of the people who live in that area start to fall apart, just like the crocodiles inside fall apart. They don't take this thing serious.
It could take. Yeah, because while you'd say one initial event where carry the levels or whatever the contaminant is way beyond certain thresholds might cause this very visible problem of fishes floating up, turtle, crocodile, doesn't mean that a lower level contamination that might not cause that, cause anything for dead, but is still present, that not have an impact on the quality of human beings and their well-being and their health. And it could show up 5-10 years down the road. Somebody start to have problems with their kidneys, somebody start to have problem with their liver, or maybe things worse, but they cannot, they say, well, it can't be the thing we're happening at 2026 because, that's a long time ago, but it doesn't mean that, still have the same problem they go on, but at a lower level, and you get in our system. Like that's how it happens, and you can't even trace the steps back to the culprit, because they don't tell you that everything is fine. That may just one low oxygen event caused by warm temperatures.
Yeah, and I want to think. Okay, I mean, like when there is an emergency, and as far as I see, this is an emergency. Money come from all over the place to try and get to the bottom of things. And like, to me, again, I see this like being like, oh, so fish dead. they are come back. Like, you know, I mean, it happened in Orange Walk a few years ago, and fish dead, and that just gets swept under the rug as well. You know, you know, we get ready for big showdown at 45, and it's sad to me that
as you mentioned,
like the brother said this morning, of only 400,000 people, and we have so many problems. It's crazy, my brother.
As you mentioned, 45. I know that you do your annual thing in September. Is that on your?
Yes, on the 10th day of September. The territorial volunteers, we are going down to the SARS soon.
Is this the first time you're doing it on the 10th?
Say what?
Is this the first time you're doing it on the 10th?
No, I think one of the first showdown we had when I could remember Sister Yaya was with us on that trip. The time when like that was probably back away in 2009. One of the first showdown was on the 10th of September as well. We tried to do it on the weekend closer to the 21st or so. But this year it falls on the 10th of September, and we're inviting all Belizeans to come. Get in touch with me at 610-0978 because it's by boat. We're not going to overload the boats, so we're going to have as many boats as necessary. So we're going to go down there and, of course, show the world that, yes, we do have a boat. So that will be on the 10th day of September.
Hip, hip.
Yeah, hooray. Okay, Mose, thanks very much for your time, man. And I hope Belizeans wake up, especially in the River Valley. And, you know, people go up and down the river. When you see infrastructure, stick on the neck out. You know, say something, post something.
Turn on the phone.
Yeah.
When you say people that fight, everybody turn on their phone. That's the thing now in 2026, right? People, that are the big spectacle on social media now, especially showing a young woman fighting, right? Like that entertainment number one now. If you see some kind of development when you're supposed to do that, that's when you take out your phone.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Exactly.
Respect.
Okay, my brother. Great.
It's 8:41. We break. We'll be back.
I'm a licensed electrician for 15 years. Safety is always an electrician number one priority. I shop at Benny's. Benny's give me high quality, durable material. Cheaper doesn't mean safety. Cheaper means danger. When I think about safety, I think about Benny's. Remember, at Benny's, quality is saving.
Savings at Benny's. Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Quality and savings. See you at the store.
With the launch of this website, the magistracy reaffirms its commitment to making justice more accessible, transparent, and something that looks very familiar to everyone who comes before the court.
For a person facing criminal proceedings, the website provides information on how the criminal process works, how to apply for bail, and how to appeal a decision. For someone who needs to access the family court, information about the services provided together with the relevant forms and guidance can now be found in one accessible location. Similarly, information on how civil claims are brought in the magistrate court is available on the website. These may seem like simple things, but they are not insignificant. For the ordinary citizen, knowing where to go, what form to complete, what procedure to follow, and what to expect can make the difference between feeling completely lost in the justice system and feeling empowered to navigate it. This website places important information and documents within reach of every citizen with access to the internet.
And our goal is really to build public confidence. The launch is supposed to, stimulate that so that the public can go online, click the link, play around with the website, get familiar with it. Also, we would definitely want the Bar Association and other key stakeholders, the lawyers, to promote the use of this website, and also the court staff.
We are often the face of justice that the ordinary Belizean is more likely to meet. That is not a burden we resent. It is a responsibility that we embrace. If we are, for so many, the only door into the justice system, then we owe it to them to make that door easier to open.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I hear they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
Hello Belize, if you're looking for the perfect home air conditioner, then listen up. First, choose the right tonnage. Correct sizing means perfect cooling and much lower electricity bills. Now, look for efficiency. GREE uses AI-driven performance to optimize cooling and fight high energy costs. Lastly, don't just cool your air, clean it. Demand health-focused air treatment and smart connected features. Get the global leader in smart home comfort. Contact us today to find your perfect GREE AC.
Welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's 8:51 on this Tuesday morning, 18th August 2026, and we're running out of time. We have one final break before we close down today. We probably could get one more call, but that's about it for today. We spoke with Wilmer here in a previous segment. He finished off that segment when he called and just speaking on the matter of where we stand with the river kill and with the fish kill in the river. Let me phrase it that way. But let me take this call. Krem, good morning, WB.
Hello, good morning, Mose.
Good morning.
I tried to get in yesterday, but I couldn't get in. I wanted to congratulate you and the senator. I also wanted to challenge you guys to tell you the next thing we need to work on is to get this redistricting done before next year's municipal elections. It has to be done. We have to fix Belize City. Belize City. It's not right to have so many irregulars. That's why I was trying to get in. I even sent you a message. I guess you got my message.
Okay, I might not have recognized that that's what that was, but I'm glad you got in this morning. I think your point is well made.
Yeah, what it does is show people power. When the people really push for something, we can get it done. And redistricting is very important for us, for this whole country. We need to get it done. I was going to challenge you guys. That's the next thing for us to work on.
I think that is a very worthwhile challenge, sir. I think it's a very important challenge.
Well, Mose, I still remember that first meeting we had to start semi-pro basketball. We was there. I'm always there when I'm needed. So, I don't know, you might not recognize my voice.
Who is this?
I'm this James Park.
What are you going about Park? Say, yeah. How you do?
Me good.
You good? All right.
Me good. Hanging in there. Listen to you guys every day. I call it the morning stew. I had a whole mischief when I thought morning stew.
Yeah. But, you know,
okay,
give thanks.
That's the next challenge I wanted to get to you guys yesterday. We need to get this redistricting done. Very important for this country. I'll leave you with that.
All right, respect.
Morning, Belize.
All right. We got to go to, let me see. Hello. Yes, man.
Good morning, sir.
You sound funny and you don't got a lot of time, but...
I know, but I will make it really short, was I promise.
I know what that means.
I enjoyed your explanation of November midterm elections. I really did. And I don't feel like partying this morning, but I really get to go because here's the win out of the same this morning. I explained the same thing what I'm talking about and tell you why is it that Santander is being handled with padded gloves? Why is it that anytime they explain to me, oh, they are not no name, like, they're not really called, they can't be there. I expect the winner of the still by saying this is what had the chance. But most, I will leave you with this word. Yesterday I called and I want to roughly get that. I wanted to continue listening. So I didn't say this yesterday. But I want to say it to you. Even though the thing is on pause, I also believe that this whole thing was deliberate. It's one of the biggest scams get played on us. Come right out of Donald Trump play book, Johnny Messena, you read it, he say you don't know nothing but the government free Trump. You notice that this deal was pushed down with Trump, and then Johnny come out and said nothing more. You know why? This was what we call smoke and mirrors. This whole thing was because they were hemorrhaging over the scandals of the BDS. And what they did, they threw something out the most crazy. I will fight that, and they survive the what you call the leverage and law. If you could just sustain and set up the dream, the reason don't forget. So while I think all what I think, or I think the reason happy, we were bamboozled, we were hopeless, we were took for kudos mono. And even though that they are not true more, but you know what, if I force it right now, he'll stop the hemorrhaging that I was hemorrhaging over there. Because this guy is this only self-admitting prime minister this country ever had, who doesn't know nothing. The amount of time that he has said, I don't know. I was even thought, it's like we have, I don't know. He's definitely not brave. He's definitely pleased. He's not brave. Anyway,
Kalmo, respect. All right, sir. We take our final break, come back and wrap.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Nokshe Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from them, it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there, we went into the culinary experience at the different Mayan cultures. We have like the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman, and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank does make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Every great job starts at Brothers Habet. With the best supplies and the right support, including free delivery on site, so you can focus on the job. Brothers Habet, working with contractors since 1983.
Excuse me, we have to lock off now. We're out of time, but with health and strength, we're going to come back tomorrow morning at 6:30, Wednesday morning edition of Wake Up Belize Morning Vibe. As always, salute to the team behind the scene, making sure we got a good thing going. Anthony Grant sitting in for Larry G this week, and upstairs, XTV, we got Cliff, and directing this morning, Miss Krista Flowers. Hope you all have a great Tuesday. As always, stand strong, stand firm. For now, we're gone!